Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Wildermyth Let's Play. This is Northstar. I know it's been a while since my last video. I apologize for that. I get on kicks where I just do one game for quite a while. I've got a buffer out to November with my Alpha Centauri series, for instance. Now, I space stuff out every 3, sometimes a certain series 4 or 2 days. Often it's 2 or 3, and sometimes 4. Excuse me. I really do need to finish this campaign eventually, though I did want to hang for a little and do some incursions. Centauran, clearly I need to put some time to this game. After I finish the series, there's a possibility of doing a multiplayer series with either Joe or River. You guys not met her, maybe you will. Taught about that, although she's nervous about having her voice on a Let's Play series. I understand that concern. Being disabled, such as I am with long COVID and having to survive, I really didn't have much of a choice. This would be some YouTube channel if you couldn't even hear my voice. But for someone who's got the options, well, there's risks involved always of weird internet creeps hunting you down or whatever, doxing. And this is a stressful time to be recording. This could be the last day of democracy in the United States. Today's the day of Trump's planned military parade, and there's been talk that he might try and do martial law in response to protests against this parade, which is ostensibly for the U.S. Army's birthday, but it's really for his birthday. And occurring as it does on his 79th birthday, and with Los Angeles already being essentially placed under martial law. This is not quite martial law, but National Guard being mobilized without the governor's authorization, in fact, against his express orders. It's a scary situation. Hold on a sec. Sorry, message on Steam. Trying to explain to someone who, I don't know how many people are keeping up with this, but there was a leak from the Trump administration that Trump might be considering declaring martial law today in response to planned protests against this military parade, with rolling out soldiers in every major city in the United States. The leak from a member of the Trump administration said, though, it's being loudly advised against by people who are party to the idea. They're probably worried that they would be tried for treason and shot, which I think would happen if they tried it and failed. Even the Democrats, as feckless as they are, you can only push them so far before they'll finally bring down the hammer of law and order on these fascists. But we'll see what happens. I really hope we don't get to the point of even finding out, but America is also self-destructing, and people are still blind to what's happening. It may almost, in a way, be better for something like this to be tried and failed, and people, their eyes to be opened to the danger, than for something like this to happen in 20 years, where it's a lot more likely to succeed. I think it's premature. If Trump tries it, it probably will fail. But which is exactly why it's almost in a way better if he does, because then maybe he'll actually go to prison. But it's the same time, I don't want to see there'll be violence, and it'll be horrible if it happens. But it's a stressful night. Anyways, hindsight will tell. I'm sure when you folks are watching this, chances are it won't have been tried, and you'll be like, what's he talking about? Or think it's ridiculous, or maybe you'll think I'm was being over conservative. But there was a possibility. I don't think this guy who made the leak was just off his ass. And the mainstream media isn't talking about it that much, which is concerning. Anyways, to the event. Slave for Love by Douglas Austin. Tomric, Meet Ania. Name is Ania. Anaya. Or meet Anaya. Name is Ania, actually. She darns socks. That's not all I darn. Charming. She has a journey to go on, so I offered to go with her. Hmm? Yeah. So here's what it is. This is because he's a flirt, by the way. My father was captured. Uh, he's got a history behind him. Anyways, my father was captured by roaming Drauben. Oh. Well, then maybe we should go get the company. The company? No, it's not too many Drauben. Oh. Still, it is some Drauben, so. And they've captured my whole family. I guess I get it. So we'll get going then. Anaya says, name's just Ania, actually. Oh, good. I was going to say. Thump. Something's weird with that girl. Hold up. At least take me along. I won't get in the way. Oh, that's even better. Both of you. Or you can choose for her to say, oh, I just remember can't go tonight because of reasons. I've seen this event before. I didn't realize that was her who says this. But I won't ruin it for you guys. Let's see. Shoot, who else is on the tile with them? Zagaridia there with them? Tomek, Brenner, Jivnad, Weisler, Smeal, Tomta. Ah, Tomek's kid. Sure, she should come along. Keep an eye on her dad. And siblings to Borsid. I'm trying to remember. Bor's parents were Tomric and who again? This campaign's been going for a while. There's Uli. Certifiable badass she is. And Yuna Palish came from a previous event. There's a tier 2 bow, tier 1 dagger. I should improve her gear at some point, but she might pick up stuff too. My slur is definitely not far leveling up. Though he's slow, isn't he? They might have to travel a while. Javelin's really fast. He's also close to leveling. So I'll send Javelin with them. Speed them on their way. Others I've got work for. Is he even... Just comrades with Tomric and confidants with Brenner. Cool. Anyways. Oof. They're going to the Valen Tannery in deepest territory. Good thing I sent 3 of them. They could get ambushed otherwise in the way. Ambushes are a chance to gain battle experience, true, but you only face a small number of enemies and they still get 1 calamity, so it's not very efficient. Okay, Leisler and Tanta here. Someone's got to go here to the shrine and help them with, hasn't been assaulted yet. Which is fine. The Gorgons might infest the tile and increase the number I have to fight. Probably need a bridge across this river. Shoot, you know, they could get there faster if I built a bridge first. It's easy to forget you can do that. I forget if there's a way to cancel them going there. Let's see. I think I'll look standing alone on a bridge as the sun falls or foes rushing in my face grim. Oh yeah, I can reassign them and then re-attempt this. Yeah, let's build the bridge first. Because then they can just cut through the Elmweaver Oaks. Speed them on their way. Let's see, infestation, incursions come through here. Make their way to 7 miles. They usually go through the Morona Breath. That can be worse, though, if I'm all the way over here dealing with something. Yeah, these 4 build a Mountain Pass for the moment. Unless defenses need improvement here and here and here before infestations start. Well, let's see who works most efficiently in the pass. Many of the great heroes strode down alone from mountain passes with the winds behind them. Okay. Of those in the tile, Uli works most efficiently on mountain passes. Samil. Why Uli and Samil? Probably Uli because she has so much health, and that contributes. Angaridia, slower. Maybe it's got something to do with speed, I don't know. Or health. Looks like it's the same multipliers on bridges and on passes. Interesting. Most interesting. Alright, well, I'll put these 2 on as well. And wait. Bridge built. Gorgons are infesting the tiles. That'll make this a bigger fight. Strength 8 instead of 7. That means more experience and a little more challenge. Yeah, it's Tummy's meal will retire, but this is the final chapter, so. The specific way this goes is I end up having to salt the site, and I think there's then a timer to salt this one. So it does help to deal with stuff on the way. All right, that bridge is built. Let me gather Weissler and Tomta here. Hope they don't get ambushed for the brief time. There's a group, just the two of them. So these 3 to the opportunity quest. Calamities, Gorgons, raccoons. Raccoons with the spikes coming out of their tails do extra damage. And the Gorgons now get Baratoths. And Nightmares for the Threxel again. And Stumps do extra damage. Yeah, this is the thing about taking your time with the campaign. You get more calamities, but that's a challenge. If you're playing the lower difficulties, it's fine. Alright. You can see the little thing over. Slight chance I'm getting ambushed because they're a group of 2 and 3, technically. Oh, they don't go through here? Oh, it's probably because they need to scout it first. No, that's inefficient. Shoot. Lovely. Lovely. Bridge, as before. On pass. Let's get started. I mean, this isn't really illegitimate, because what I'll sometimes do when I'm worried opportunities to be a distance away is accept, see them, cancel, reassign people to build bridges or scout things in between, and then, yeah. Marguerite doesn't have any friends, so yeah, she'll stick with them. Tom Weissler. Oh. Wait, no. Wrong 2. Tom Weissler is 3. Alright, whenever heroes and talent together, even if they're not all working the same task, make friends. Una swap for Weissler, maybe his mystical abilities help carving that pass. Una might be able to do a little crafting while she's here. I do like crossbows for my hunters so they can use a shield or such. Them being so squishy. Shoot, I can't give her a crossbow. Or level up her dagger. Give her a shield. Help me bring her in fights. Where she needs close to melee, she'll be a little less vulnerable this way. Now I could get a shield randomly, at which point I'll scrap it for, I think, an ingot or a heartwood. Yeah, no, I don't really like the options available. I'll be fine with. She might pick up stuff from a fight. She might. Jamila and Tomric are now companions traveling together. Let's see, when I have lots at the end of the chapter. Oh, ingots. And heartwoods, I suppose, but ingots. You know what? Fine, I'll do the shield. It's a minor investment in Una here. I suppose something like this uses valuable spell threads, and I might find a water spirit, and if I do, the shield will help her actually get to it. So let's craft a shield for her. Alright, everyone's busy. The Gorgons get a Geist this time instead of that other thing. Dix will still a Nightmare, driving a Terrorbird, and even extra health. This is definitely a worse set of calamities. I wasn't trying to save Scum or anything, so. Unweaver Oaks have been revealed. Didn't get any events from it. Time for the opportunity. Tarmac meet Anaya. Name's Nia, actually. She darn socks. That's an all I darn. Charming. She has a journey to go on and I offered to go with her. Yes, here's what it is. My father was captured by Droven. Same stuff as before. Keep this quick for you guys. I just want to send Agria. She's not there. Chevelin, these three. Okay. Mountain Pass is open. Wait till the crafting is done. Send three to scout and 3 east to improve. You know what? No. Let's figure out who's best for upgrading defenses first. That's right, the Threshery needs it. Not. Agaridia. And Uli. We'll slow him down the least. Anyone but Lysar is fine. These 3 are all hunters. Oh, Tomta is fast enough to cut a day off the travel time. So yep, Tomta will go with them. The rest will scout. Smil, Lysar, and Una. It's an awkward, quiet trek. Many of the shortcuts Nia seems to know well, or unfamiliar to Tomric. They just scout out an area, so you definitely ruined it. True. But think about it. Doesn't something feel off? Like when the eggs are too chewy, or your belt that fit yesterday won't go all the way around. I mean, because he's gained weight. Because you made it weird. You did. That's all it is. Cree, Cree. We're here. Cray. Hops around. That is a Drowvin bird. The thick line of forest rises before them, not clearly menacing, nor even remarkable. Birds and squirrels, and the things in between make their sunset sounds. They've got my brother in there. Better let me go on alone. I know these woods. You come when I call. Follower. Brenner and Tomek creep through the trunks, staying quiet as possible, shadowing Nia's winding course. You really are ridiculous. Just give it a moment. Well, hello? Anyone there? Whoosh, swift. Don't tell me this was for nothing. Someone left a chest here. Hey, Stir Uone? Down. Shh, watch. Oh, Scott. Why you sneak up on me? Yeah, I can't read that. Yeah, there's 3 of them out by near the ruins. By the near ruins. Don't pretend your bird didn't dock them. Didn't clock them. They're waiting for my signal and won't expect an attack if you're fast. Hand over the coin. Disc medal, yours when captured they be. Captured they. Oh, well that I can understand. That wasn't our agreement. The drove slaps its own snout and splutters. Sax Clark, something. Airs coin through. Airs coin through. The silent one drops a dirty sack of money in Ania's palms. She goes on her way. Brenner and Tomek and Gemlet have just been sold to driving slavers. You think? Perfect. You okay? Perfect. Okay. Whoop. Get ready. You get some stuff from the chest they saw. Stormthroat, 2 stumps, and a dart. Didn't get the calamity yet this time around. I think they had it before and lost it for 2 darts. So it could have been potentially 5v3 instead of 4v3. But they got the numbers. I have the quality. The birds, annoyingly, do 2 damage, 2 shredder damage. Drum bird does have to shred their armor, I think, before it does damage, is what's implying. The dart's hard to hit because it can cower, and the stumps, they throw nets to hobble the target, but can also set flanking. That's a swift action, and it can strike. Should be easy, though. Got Tomrik. He's a good, stalwart, level 6 warrior with Star Heart, no less. And the Pine Cone. And I'll have Brenner right in front. One of the reasons is his splinter that he's carrying with him. You might see what that is eventually, why that matters. He's also trained as a knight of the Warless Order. I like to think that makes him a little more badass. Does that to his retirement age at least. And Jevnwad, who's fulfill his destiny, his wanderlust hooks, and he's got the Sylvan transformation, which affects his legs. Make him very fast. And his left arm for invigorate. He's 81 years old and his speed is 10.4. He'll never be slow. Also has wings. Dragon wings. Fashioned from hide and light wood. With a healthy infusion of magic. Alright. And his Shadowcat. These three are all quite storied badasses. Brenner with his normal black cat. Cat was granted through sacrifice all the years of its former master. Was granted through sacrifice all years of its former master, and so it lives, guarding the steps of a new beloved companion. Resident and willing to swipe any unwelcome fools. Reach. Very small. Alright. It's been a bit since I played this, but let's see. Javelon's got Jump Jaw, Climbus, Ambush, Brenner, Earth Scribe, Open-Minded, Soul Split. So, yeah, durability all, hardness plus. Very high health. Factor and Tomric. So he has 22 health. Extra retirement age even. Thanks to hardness plus. Not that matters. Alright. Guess I could invigorate someone. Tomric, because he almost always goes into danger in future fights, because I don't mind if Brenner ends up mortally wounded in some fights down the line. For many reasons. Including he's already got excellent traits locked in Brenner. I do believe his Eagle Feather Talisman is new. Jump Jaw Trap. And Silk Step. Out of danger, I guess. Find Tomric. I don't think that adds to Tomric's dodge. The other companions, because he's Silk Stepped. I really need to remember that. Oh well. Stalwart Puss. Engage one of the stumps. And Draven. Or sorry, that was a storm. No, that was. Why does it say sharpened beak on the stumps? Oh, it's because it was displaying the thing for the storm throat. Yeah, Draven Blood means they regenerate health if I shoot them. Just Guardian if they get close. Swipe at him with the sword with greater accuracy than this, which, oh, is almost guaranteed to hit. 43% chance to kill. Swords. Guaranteed kill, even on a not. Yeah, I'll discarding. Okay. Rocks. Rocks. Actually, I can just use flanking bait thanks to engage. Nice. Maybe. Well, Tarmac would have just shot the one that died anyhow. This actually did the most damage too. I suppose the discus could have targeted something else. Didn't use its bird yet. That thing's annoying as heck. Over here, you dumb lizard. Ah yes, it's pinned, so 100% chance to kill. Give the kill to Jevannot. Why can I not establish? None of these have flanking on them. Oh, because that's going to that, not him. Whoops. It's out of range for Spirit Chase, and well, just shoot it. Want to do as much damage as possible, but that's dumb. A low mood fogs otherwise cloudless return. But the last evening, a storm welcomes them back to 7 Miles. I suppose I'll never really be happy. Don't tell me you're not over that Ania woman. How could I be? She really could darn a sock. She could darn anything. This lady's cute, though. Yeah? You don't think that's her husband, do you? You're awful. Oh, goodness. There's nothing wrong with wanting a little love in your life. As someone who's single, I got long COVID. Myself, I'll probably be single the rest of my life, unfortunately, because no one wants to date someone with this disease. I had a little success early after I got it, but when I reached the immune exhaustion stage of the disease, I think there's no sure theories, but if it's like MECFS at all, that's what they call it when about 2 or 3 years in. But after 2 or 3 years in, I got substantially more tired. And just, I think my ticking age on dating apps, people see, no, he's 30x years old and he was 30x minus one the previous year. I don't know, just impressions from that. Plus, my pictures getting older. Maybe people figuring out how to like timestamp them. I don't know. The bottom line is nobody freaking wants to date me anymore just because of that, and I'll probably be single the rest of my life. I hate this. I like go into family reunions, and the family will always be like, "Oh, you can be perfectly happy with all income." It's like, no, I can't. A critical part of life that you folks don't understand because all the older relatives are married, and like what? Then it's his cousins are too young to for it to be too stressful, and they'll have sniffing others, which I had a hard time dating, bullying, abusive parents, all sorts of shit. So I never controlling abusive parents who didn't give me any money to spend or any independence, didn't allow me to have a job. It's a stressful, difficult thing. Even in college, I was forbidden from working. It wasn't until grad school when I was independent enough. I'm like, okay, I'm working while I do grad school. But I took messages to heart about not borrowing too much in student loans, and I put the money I made mostly into that, and that screwed me. When I finished grad school and family, Ned done a promise to help me relocate, and I got stuck in a rural area. Anyways. Extra armor or extra health? On a warrior, I'd grab hardiness, but uh, let's see. This is reaching level 5, right? So I'll have 2 more level ups. Earthscribe, open-minded, soul splitting. I like vigor flow because it makes the mystics hit way harder. Once they're Earthscribe plus and soul splitting plus, they are tough enough that they rarely go down if the warriors are doing their job of tanking for them before the warriors. So their job becomes DPS support at that point. I don't like over relying on tanks can't always cover for the mystics, and if you desperately need them to, you'll have to take excessive risks with the tanks. I say this as someone who likes tank characters like in MMOs, like Lord of the Rings Online. You'll see eventually I play Yellow Captain, which is a tank captain. Captain uses a two-handed weapon and draws lots of threat. Actually has more offensive capabilities than the red captain. Which people are like, oh, their skills give them high DPS. Their skills increase DPS, but red-handed don't have two-handed weapon. Red captains don't use two-handed weapons, if I remember. They don't have the proficiency. And so their base damage is lower than with a two-handed sword or axe or whatever. So even though their skills give a larger percent modifier, the base is lower, and so they actually do less damage, but they also draw way less threat. So they can focus on using their damage dealing abilities, whereas Yellow Captains have to constantly do self heals, and so they deal less damage because of that, not because their capability to deal damage is less. It's actually greater. If somebody is tanking the damage, like if there's a guardian in the party, a Yellow Captain can actually do more damage than the red. Some people will probably hard disagree with that, but yeah, I don't like putting tanks in difficult situations. The characters they're protecting should have some ability to take a hit. I don't know. I don't mind doubling up on the survivability with hardiness, but I really would like to get vigor flow, especially with Brenner's special bow that has very long range. That allow him to sometimes snipe really tough enemies from a great distance. Yep, I'll just give him Earthscribe Plus. It's a really big increase to his survivability, maybe even more than hardiness, actually, which would be like 3 extra hit points. Because now he gets, if he's interfused with like 3 rock objects, that's 3 extra armor and warding. And he can renew the armor by uninterfusing or re-interfusing. So, makes it harder for things to get through his armor at all, because he can regenerate faster now. Chicken isn't quite leveled up, though he's very close. Tarmak's got a ways to go. Yeah, I often go against the traditional opinions on the meta of games. Find ways where the reasoning for how things work is actually not accurate. Some may disagree with me. I think I'm wrong. Listen to these guys here in case I'm wrong about. I think incursions will go this way, but if they do go this way, I don't want the clangery to be undefended. Send these 3 to the clangery now, and then to tannery. Okay, scouting job done. One last scouting job. Alright, arrived at the foul forest. Prepare defenses. Looking at the various approaches, they almost have to pass this way. Trees to perch in. There are bees in these trees. Start with tier 2 defenses. Heady Woods is now more protected against incursions. So these 3 here. Nothing unusual. It'll take time, but this is ground I want to stand on if a fight broke out. Imagine the Carnage. Cookfire would be easy to defeat at least. Tier 3. Partly I just wanted to see the thing for the tier 3 defenses, the messages. Plenty of worse positions we could take. This one gives us some fallbacks. Tall grass is a plus. Wildflowers year round. You'd hope it stayed peaceful. Alright. Defenses. But yeah, like I play Alpha Centauri. By the way, check that series out. I've put so much time in that series and got videos in the buffer out to November. So I spread them out because if I published everything at once, most of the stuff would get no views, and then YouTube would just this way more. Each video would get more views and probably get more subscribers in the long run. And some of the videos that post later will post later when other series will have given me subscribers who might be directed over to it. So it's more efficient in effort, and in the long run, it'll help my channel grow more. Since I can't monetize it all till I get to 500 subscribers, there's no cost whatsoever at this point from this strategy. I'm a strategic thinker. But anyways, like I play the Peacekeepers, which is the least popular of the original 7 factions in Alpha Centauri. I don't know why. I think partly it's racism. I've heard people describe the leader of the Peacekeepers as a Muslim, and with all sorts of vicious racist terms. I guess actually he might be Muslim in that canonically he's Pakistani or Indian. It's not clear which, but he does wear a turban. He might be Sikh. But the guy was a doctor who served in a fictitious war between India and Pakistan, nuclear war. Like he was there with an NGO and treating victims of radiation poisoning and such, and it made him attached to peace. And he's Previn Lal, the leader of the Peacekeepers, and he's a strong believer in the UN mission to Chiron, and the project of peace and democracy. And yeah, he's not very popular. Maybe it's also because of Peacekeeper bonuses people don't know how to use correctly. And some people are obsessed with playing on the highest difficulty level, Transcend, which screws up the whole game balance. I've said this before. their buffs work best on the second and third highest difficulty levels, Librarian and Thinker. If people want more of a challenge, they should just play the Thinker mod, which improves the AI, or carves patch for the base game if they don't want to play with the expansion, which is a better game engine anyways. It's got a lot of bug fixes in it. They play with one of those. Thinker will actually be a challenge, and Librarian will be more like Thinker normally is. But the problem is the highest difficulty levels, bases get so tiny, you'll never reach the extra pop cap that the Peacekeepers get, where they can have more people in their bases until they're have complex, because it's just impractical to keep bases that large happy in the highest difficulty level, even if you get the Human Genome Project and play as the Peacekeepers, especially if you don't. Because let's see, size 9, you'd have 4 pops would be happy by default on Transcend with the Peacekeepers. They need 2 from Police quite easily, and 2 more from Erect Commons. Yeah, and there's no easy way to keep the 9th pop. Well, I guess if you got the Human Genome Project, yeah, you could just barely keep the size 9 base happy with Erect Commons and a Police unit. But then once you start getting bureaucracy drones, it's much harder goal in Age. So you might reach that size, but you won't be able to pop boom to it. Sorry, for those who don't play Alpha Centauri, this is very obscure, but the point is it screws up. Certain factions don't play well in SIP-type games. There's certain nations on the highest difficulty that play great on slightly lower ones, and all the things below that. It doesn't mean they're a weak faction, just they weren't built for always playing Deity or always playing Transcend. Alright, so these 3 there. Okay, 51 minutes in this video. I've been going for a while. So these 3 back there so they can make friends. And I'll assign Tomric to work on this. And some progress, it doesn't show who works fastest. It's probably Jevenwad though, faster, and I don't know, Tomta or Brenner. Probably Brenner faster than Tomta. Yeah, doesn't seem to matter. You know what? This is 6 days either way. I'm gonna send Tomta and Jevenwad, 2 reasonably fast hunters, on a little quest. Not quest, a little trip. To meet up with these 3, I think. Maybe. And then escort them. There may be more bridges to build. Here, it's not going to speed up any incursions because they'll definitely go through the Elmhenge to Bedware, if nothing else. Maybe I should fortify Bedware. There is a shrine in the Elmhenge. Maybe, yeah, I probably don't want to let that get destroyed, so there's no point. Unless thing really getting pushed. Well, anyways. These folks can meet up with the rest. They are lightning fast. These 4 back to Run Pony. Guess tier 3 defenses while these guys are hanging. This is where they'll come through. Partial of this part of the world. But this particular place, these 4 should be doing defenses here. I might try to assign them. Plenty of worse positions we could take. This one gives us some fallbacks. Fine, piece of forest wildlife's a problem. If we want to leave stores. A Threxel incursion. Sometimes they spawn in multiple places. This time they did not. Alright, they're going for 7 miles, as I expected. They might have gone up towards Bedware, I didn't know. But I guess even from the Artland Forest, 7 miles is considered closer. In which case, this is only even relevant if 7 miles got burned to the ground at some point. I should go vroom, vroom. Save here. Who do I want on this intercept mission? Hygaridia is tough and could use experience. I really kind of regret. I forget. I think she got the wolf head before she got the crow wings, but the crow head is actually a better transformation than the wolf head for almost everything. There might be some weird event here or there. I think there's a couple rare events where the wolf head provides an advantage. It does less damage, the crow head, so less damage, but it can blind enemies with the peck ability, which is a quick action, just like bite. So instead of 4 to 6 damage, I think this would do 3 to 5, but have a chance to blind, which is often better. Because if enemy can't hit you, they're not as much of a threat. And the issue with a stalwart engaged warrior is getting overwhelmed. Enemies hitting him more than their temporary armor allows. Anyways. Spilt milk, something, something. Her extra stats are speed, recovery, an insane amount of tenacity. Probably in hindsight would have rather had a warrior with a little more like block ability. Block is slightly better than dodge. People think they're the same. And they're the same for almost every purpose except one. If you have the ice shield, which you can get, and it's an upgrade. I use shields anyway, so it would actually be an upgrade. The ice shield does a debuff to enemies that block, but not that where you dodge a hit, only if you block. So block is slightly better than dodge because of the ice shield. Otherwise identical. See, I would have rather had a warrior with at least some block, maybe instead of as much dodge, but the same amount total or more evasions in total. The speed is good. Accuracy is good. Recovery rate is good. Tenacity is excessive at that level. Yeah, so if I was rolling a new warrior, I wouldn't have bothered with the wolf head. She's got a kid, or a Truffle Lance, though, who, if I remember correctly, is a pretty decent mystic. So I'll probably keep her in my legacy, Agaridia, because of that relationship and because she's still quite leveled up warrior who I've had in my parties forever. I think this is I her third campaign. She's been around a long time. Vegas is the third she's actually done. So to other people and said, anyways, probably Agaridia, probably Brenner. Uli is a badass and won't take any experience from people who need it more because she's already max level. She's wearing Wilder Guard because it doesn't slow her speed down. At her age, that starts to become a slight concern. Plus, it helps with her evasions, block dodge. She gets extra dodge, not block, from the Wilder Guard armor. Gives her stun chance, which is effectively extra damage, or health with the leaf bow. That plus the bone food give her high stun chance. 44%. Alright. Let's see. Anyone here I'd want to bring? All four of these would actually be good at dealing with incursion. Yuna, maybe, so I can start training her up. She's only level 1. Or Jevenlad, because he's about to level. Has this Life Slur. It's got Aid. Open Mind, Soul Splitting Plus. Yes, Samil and Tomta. They're all kind of, these are all characters who are not as good in fights, but I need to level at least one of them up. Alright. I'll bring Brenner for sure. He's not as good at building defenses, and Agaridia, maybe? She needs to level up at least once in this campaign. She's pretty tough. Stalwart, Engage, Endurance. Though not Stalwart Plus yet. No, I'll bring Tomric. He's actually better than Agaridia because he's got a Stalwart Plus. And the Thrix will do like their debuffs. He also has more relationships in the party. Agaridia will get there, but he's a rival with his kid, Tomta. That's funny. Maybe I'll put them in the next fight together. If I bring these, I'd only have Tomric as the only warrior, wouldn't I? Shoot. Alright, I'll bring Tomric and Oli. Leave Agaridia behind. Well, she makes friends with people. Eventually. It should be more useful. Jivenlad and Lysur are tied by a blood bond. That's the highest level of friendship. Nice. Alright. Fleet is ready, Admiral. We await your orders. For those who don't recognize the reference, which is probably almost all of you, that's Star Wars Rebellion. You're about to start a tactical battle. Fortunately, that game doesn't work well on modern OSs, and you have to do stuff with it to get to work well. Right then. I don't have to worry until these guys get to the Rouster Wild and then intercept them before they reach 7 miles. Otherwise, it won't be intercept. It'll be a defensive fight. You have to intercept them in hostile territory. Guess I'll leave these folks all together. Alright, a Bartoth. Thrixel, the Drathix has extra armor. Seeker does extra damage, and Woken Slingers too, for calamities. Tier 3 defenses built in the Carbon Field. Alright, I'm going to send over here to build a bridge. 3 people who are not going to be on this intercept battle. Actually, I'll gather everyone here. And then send 3. Can travel together. Make friends, as Tomta and Leisler did. And Javelin and Tomta. Tomta is solely making friends, but she's still very new. Send north. Save here. North with Northstar. Being weird. Who to send? Who to send? Wow, always slow. It's 25 days for her to get there. Speed of 3.5. But things she's not wearing heavy armor, should be even slower. Her and Tomric are needed for the battle line anyways. My sword is also slow. Probably send Yuna. She doesn't know anyone yet. Tom to let them make more friends before they join a fight. Because friendships help them fight better. close friendships, especially against the Threxel, where they can dominate characters and strength of relationships. Helps break that. And they don't all gain friendships at the same rate, partly based on their charisma stat. This is high charisma, make friends faster. Jim has some close friendships, even though his charisma isn't amazing. He's close to leveling, so he's not going to get better as much faster. It's all about risk versus reward. Yeah, so I want Javelin in the fight. Probably want Tomric and Uli. Brenner hasn't been with the party long. He's got high charisma. He's not close to leveling up. So Yuna, Brenner, and Tamta. And the Brenner is better than Weiser. I need to level this guy up, so. I say that, but do I really want Samil in this fight? Yeah, he's not close friends. They won't, even if Samil's even worse than. He does have the Bard ability. Still. I only need one hunter in the group. One hunter, 3 warriors, and a mystic. Wait. 2 mystics, 2 warriors, and a hunter. Not overdo the hunters against the Threxel. So, yep. He's got a green silver necklace. That's cool. Yuna, Tamta, Samil. Go build a bridge. The rest of ye gather here. Right. 2 days after the incursion. Boom. Alright, save. And next video, I'll fight this incursion, but I need to take a little bit of a break. I'm getting a headache with my long COVID. Sip a little more of my coffee, give it a chance to kick in, and I will see you folks later. Which I guess for all of you will be 3 days later. I'll have this posted. Adieu, and good luck.